YouTube, welcome back to my YouTube family. Welcome to my new subscribers. We're just gonna go over here and check out my sister's, who is the Remnant. Y'all go over and subscribe to her channel. We're going over here and checking out a couple of her videos. I really haven't been recording, but I have been watching, so I'm gonna go ahead and share these, and y'all go back over there and watching like anyway. We'll watch this first.
Hey family, it's the Remnant, and I wanted to make a video today about several topics that segue into each other. I ended up finding an article about the 2020 census that led me down a rabbit hole, and I'm gonna take you all on that journey with me. Now, I picked up this article because I'm currently doing my family genealogy. So I'm actually going through a lot of the old census records trying to piece this thing together, y'all. So if any of you have been doing the same thing or are starting to go on that same journey to find out your heritage and to find out more about your ancestors, just buckle up, because you're going to want to snatch your eyeballs out, pull your wig off, punch a pillow on the wall, because it gets frustrating, and for several reasons. Like for me, for example, one of the roadblocks that I'm running into is with this 1890 census. One of my friends told me that it's considered like the dead zone of census records, because in 1921, and that year is important for where we're going to go with this. In 1921, there was a building fire that pretty much destroyed the 1890 census records. Now, for a lot of us copper-colored people, that was an important year historically. So it's just frustrating why that year of all years has been destroyed in the 1920s. So when you think about that, plus the fact that the people who digitized these records couldn't really understand some of the cursive writing, so they misspelled names. It's just like stumbling block after stumbling block. But I am determined, and I will not quit. So anyway, off of that soapbox, back to this 2020 census. I'm going to pull up the article so we can go ahead and get rolling. So this article is called "Why the 2020 Census Could Blow a Huge Hole in the Federal Budget." Basically meaning it's projected to cost a lot more coins than it has in the past. And this article talks about even the last one that they did, the 2010 census, here it is right here, proved to be the costliest census in U.S. history. Now, this is according to the Government Accountability Office, the GAO. Now, I've never heard of the GAO, but thankful to you guys and your YouTube authors, now I know to actually stop here and research this. The Government Accountability Office, let's find out who they are. The Government Accountability Office is a government agency that provides auditing, evaluation, and investigative services for the United States Congress. It is the supreme audit institution of the federal government of the United States. So they are kind of some big wigs, okay? They were established as the General Accounting Office by the Budget and Accounting Act of 1921. There's that year again, okay? 1921, same year that the 1890 census was destroyed. And that was in January. It was destroyed in January of 1921, and this was born in July of 1921. Feel free to research that information if you would like. Let's continue. The act required the head of the GAO to investigate at the seat of the government or elsewhere all matters relating to the receipt, disbursement, and application of public funds, and shall make to the President and to Congress reports and recommendations with greater economy or efficiency in public expenditures. According to the GAO's current mission statement, the agency exists to support the Congress in meeting its constitutional responsibilities and to help improve the performance and ensure the accountability of the federal government for the benefit of the American people. So that's who the GAO is and what they stand for and their purpose. Now back to this article. So these people who do all of those things said that the 2010 census was the costliest and that the 2020 census is going to be even more expensive. Now, when we come down into the article a little bit, it states that the 2020 census was one of 3 programs or functions added to the list, along with the management of federal programs that service Indian tribes. That is you, my copper-colored brothers and sisters, and the federal government's environmental liabilities. That also is important. We're going to get into this word environment too, okay? It says that in all, there are 34 high-risk governmental programs and areas that GAO research are particularly vulnerable to waste, fraud, and abuse, or they're in dire need of broad-based transformation. So you know, my antenna perked up reading this little chunk here, okay? Now, so the GAO, who basically is the pretty much IRS of the federal government, created this list of 34 high-risk governmental programs that include the census for 2020, the federal management of the federal programs that service Indian tribes, that's 2, and the federal government's environmental liabilities, that's 3 things that are included in the 34 high-risk governmental programs. Now, let us go back to Wiki real quick, because there was another spot down here. Now, they made a report, right, talking about the list of those 34 things that needed reform, right? Now, let's look a little bit about their reports and what types of reports that they do. So it says here that the GAO is a United States government electronic data provider, as all of its reports are available on its website. So we will go there. I have a link here, so hold tight, we'll get there. Except for certain reports whose distribution is limited to official use in order to protect national and homeland security. The variety of topics reported on range from federal budget, which relates to what we're talking about, and fiscal issues to financial management, education, retirement issues, defense, homeland security, administration of justice, healthcare, information management and technology, natural resources, environment, there's that word again, international affairs, trade, financial markets, housing, government management, and human capital. This is a video for another day, y'all. The GAO often produces highlights of its reports that serve as a statement for the record for various subcommittees of the United States Congress. All right, so I just wanted to get that little piece. So let me just derail for one quick second on this word environment, okay? Now, when I think of environment, I think that I, along with a lot of people, are thinking more about the natural resources, okay? Which is why they separated the two. The environment is not just natural resources. And to further hone in on that point, I had to pull out a book that I bought from Goodwill for $3. Don't even know why I bought it until now, okay? This book is called Environmental Law. Thank you, Most High. This book is called Environmental Law, Rogers Environmental Law book, okay? And it's a second edition, and here's a picture of what it looks like. It's this book. Okay, and I think it's on, they have used versions on Amazon for like $3 or I don't know. So you too can get one for the love. So I'm coming out of this book on page 754. And concerning environment, it says, the human environment reaches just about everything important to people, not only pollution and natural resource use, but also crime and crowding, race relations, unemployment, and the availability of schools and housing. All right, so when you think environment, everything that this environmental law book just listed, also relates to quote unquote African Americans or Black people today. Like every time you see that word environment, they talk about your black, your brown self. It's related to you. So I wanted to really highlight that word and get some deeper understanding on it, and that opened my eyes, because now when we continue to read the rest of the stuff, you realize what it means and what it's referring to. All right, so again, that word environment, the GAO, which is the IRS of the federal government, makes reports about this type of stuff. Okay, so let's just skedaddle real quick to the website and go and rein ourselves back in and go back to those three things that they had: the census, the federal management of programs that serve Indian tribes and their members, and the other one was the government's environmental liability. Okay, so I saw Indian and everything else flew out the window, I'm not gonna lie. So I went to the website. Here's where I ended up. So let's find out why improving federal management of programs that serve tribes and their members are high risk. It says here, for nearly a decade, we, along with inspectors general, special commissions, and others, have reported that federal agencies have ineffectively administered Indian education and healthcare programs and inefficiently fulfilled their responsibilities for managing the development of Indian energy resources. In particular, we have found numerous challenges facing the Department of the Interior's Bureau of Indian Education and Bureau of Indian Affairs, both under the office of the Assistant Secretary for Indian Affairs, and the Department of Health and Human Services, Indian Health Service, in administering education and healthcare services, which put the health and safety of American Indians, and that's me because I changed my SF 181 and SS5, so that is also talking about me, served by these programs at risk. These challenges included poor conditions at BIE school facilities that endangered students and inadequate oversight of healthcare that hindered IHS's ability to ensure quality care to Indian communities. In addition, we have reported that BIA, let me just highlight this. In addition, we have reported that BIA mismanages Indian energy resources held in trust and thereby limits opportunities for tribes and their members to use those resources to create economic benefits and improve the well-being of their communities. All right, so far it's like I F with the GAO so far. Congress recently noted through treaties, statutes, and historical relations with Indian tribes, the United States has undertaken a unique trust responsibility to protect and support Indian tribes and Indians. In light of this unique trust responsibility and concerns about the federal government ineffectively administering Indian education and healthcare programs and mismanaging Indian resources, we are adding these programs as a high-risk issue because they uniquely affect tribal nations and their members. All right. What did they find out? Why did they say this? Federal agencies have ineffectively administered and implemented Indian education and healthcare programs and mismanaged Indian energy resources in the following wide areas. They effed up, number one, by oversight of federal activities. 2, collaboration and communication. 3, federal workforce planning. 4, equipment technology and infrastructure. And 5, federal agencies data. Although federal agencies have taken some actions to address the 41 recommendations we made related to Indian programs, there are currently 39 that have yet to be fully resolved.
Okay, y'all. We want to stay tuned for part two, of course. Like I said, go over and show our sister, the Remnant, some love. She's made, wow, a lot of videos. I did not know. I am so sorry, sis.
Hey YouTube family, it's the Remnant, and I just wanted to take a quick second to introduce myself to you guys. I'm sure some of you might remember me lurking all over your videos, writing comments, asking a gajillion questions, but thank you for the replies, and thank you to all of the YouTube authors that are out there spreading this indigenous truth and letting us know, exactly what it really is when it comes to the Creator. I have never felt more at peace. I've never felt more sure of myself than I have once I ran into these videos and started researching this stuff for myself. So thank you. All praise to the Most High Creator for making you guys and for putting that into your spirit to bring to us. Let me see what else. Shout out to Styles by Nina. Hey, Pooh.
Hey, girl.
And I just look forward to interacting with you guys and kind of chopping it up, asking questions, bouncing some ideas off of you guys. I'm not necessarily trying to teach anybody, more so than I'm just trying to get an understanding. And sometimes, you need to read it out loud, talk it out, write it out, have these conversations with yourself, whoever, Most High Creator, just talk it out so you can really kind of anchor yourself in it and really grasp it and be able to tell it to somebody else. So that's my struggle right now. I'm trying to figure out how to explain this to people, because I'm sure everyone can relate that, everybody think I'm crazy or I'm in some kind of cult or I don't know, like I need some medicine. I don't know, but oddly enough, I feel great. I feel complete. I can just get all these laws down, but I'm working on it. Most times working with me on it, and we're all a work in progress. But, it's a daily struggle trying to get these laws together. So, but anyway, I am hoping to, just continue to learn and continue to grow. And like I said, be able to share this with somebody in the light of what's off in their head. So, especially the way you guys make mine, I'm just like, oh my God, mouth on the floor, pick it up, because it's real. I told somebody the other day, I was trying to explain to them, I was just like, man, look, this is real life. Like, this is not a test. This is real life. And if ever there was a time to get yourself together and really find out the truth and get back to the laws, right about now. Okay, so, what else? I'm definitely here for everything and all things Utah. Just throw that out there. And I'm down with the cause. So, keep sharing, keep reading. Everybody keep researching. Ask questions. Peel back those onion layers and let's get down to this cold, hard, indigenous truth. So, anyway, with that aside, I was gonna come outside. I did this video earlier on my balcony, but the way the city is set up, it's really loud right now. But I just wanted to show you guys the sunset tonight. Now I know how to use this, so I can't turn the camera around. I'm just going to show you and turn the camera backwards. But I am in Atlanta, and just real quick, before y'all say anything smart, don't say nothing about the Super Bowl. The whole city is just... let me show you the sunset right now. Please excuse the chemtrails, some people just hell-bent on destroying this earth. But anyway, here we go. Nice little sunset with a side of traffic to match, which is every day here. And I'm gonna sit out here and read some of this word, study a little bit, and
Okay, y'all. This video is gonna just be featuring all my sister's videos. Why? Because I feel horrible. I didn't know she was uploading stuff. It's just like you telling me to make videos and you're not watching them. Let me see. This is awesome, honey. And I like the way you put these videos together. I was jamming to that. So let's go on to this one. We gonna go on. And y'all, she's a sweetie.
Shalom family, it's the Remnant here again. Just wanted to make a quick video letting you guys know about the lick I just hit down at Goodwill. I went in there, the Most High put it on my heart to go and search for some books. Y'all, I didn't think I was going to come up like this, but I wanted to show you guys the books that I bought and what I'm going to be reading coming up. And hopefully making some videos based off of these books that I found at Goodwill. So that being said, the first book that I found, it is called The Encyclopedia of Jewish Concepts by Philip Birnbaum. I like how King Drop calls it getting the babies out of the bath water. I'm sure there's a lot of bath water in this, but you know, just as many babies as well. So I'm going to flip through that and see what I can see. But I got this particular one because, you know, I like to thumb through the pages a little bit before I decide if I'm going to buy it or not. And this one had a chronology of Jewish history. So it gives you all these dates and events that took place, and you know, we're going to dig all up in that. So I'm excited to bring you some information that I'm trying to understand on my own. You just basically watch me through my thought process. But I'm excited to read that. Let's see what it has. Alright, so next up, I bought two books. They're both from the same, I don't know if it's a publishing company or whatever, but it's called Penguin Classics. And the first one is called Bed, Ecclesiastical History of the English People. So, you know, $2 down from the Goodwill. I'm not sure what's in it. I don't even know why I bought it, but it said ecclesiastical on it in history in English, and I was like, so I bought it. And then I also bought another one from Penguin Classics called Ammianus Marcellinus, the later Roman Empire, AD 354 to 378. So, you know, anything wrong is the side eye for me. So I'm just trying to see if they spilled any tea in here about this. So, got it. Then the next book is the Oxford Bible Atlas. Doesn't have anything on the front or on the back, but I bought this one for the low because it has old world maps, talks about some artifacts, and, you know, you just never know what kind of, you know, little sideness you can get out of these books. So I bought it as well. Then I'm very excited about this one. I bought this book, I think it's backwards, Perspectives on the European Past, Conversations with Historians. I want to see what these historians had to say. You know, sometimes they, I don't know, I just bought it. We'll see what happens. Then I also found an Apocrypha. I'm sure you guys know this one, the revised standard version of the Apocrypha, but I bought this for a friend because she had never heard of any missing books in the Bible. So we got a lot of work to do, y'all. So I bought that. I'm going to gift it to a friend. And then, you know, let me segue that into this next book. This particular book did not come from Goodwill, but it did come from a thrift store. And I only paid $3, $4 for it. And this is the Jerusalem Bible. I bought this one, and I mean, y'all, look how thick she is. I'm living for the Most High now, so I'm going to save that joke. But I bought this book because this particular Bible also includes the Apocrypha as well. And it also has, you know, precepts in there. It has a spiel on the Hebrew Bible, the Greek Bible. It just has a lot of stuff in here. You know, a lot of extra supplements. I don't know. It was just a lot, and I felt like for $3 or $4, I might as well snatch her right on up, or him it right on up, and go from there. So just so you can see, you know, just I flipped to a random page, and this is what it looks like on the inside. You know, with the precepts on the side, and I might even be able to curl with this to get my arms back right, but bought that. And I'm going to compare that Jerusalem Bible with my King James, you know, just kind of put everything together and see what I can see. And lastly, I know a lot of books, right? Lastly, I bought this puppy here, which is the Roget's or Roget's, not sure how to pronounce it, but the International Thesaurus. And I'm particularly excited about this one because I flipped in there for specific words, and you already know what's in there, but I don't know if you know what this particular book says, so I can't wait to do a video just reading out of this, okay? So, but those are the books that I purchased, and I just wanted to show you guys because I was so excited, you know, when you trust in the Most High, He just will bless you with all these books or whatever it is. So, trust in Him. I trusted Him. I went to the store like He said to do, and I'll be doggone, look at all this stuff I got. So, anyway, happy reading, happy studying, happy researching, happy activating, and all that good stuff, and may the Most High lead and guide you in all that you do. So, much love from me to you, and shalom. Bye.
Okay. I'm going to try to get a lot of these in here. Oh, okay. So... Y'all, if y'all want to check this one out, just go right on over. Be my guest. What I'm doing right now is just trying to see some of this stuff that I did not see. I don't know why I'm not getting notifications from her channel, but I shall find out. Share the Bible study. This right here, this right here. I saw some of these. I'm about to leave. I'm trying to think. I saw that one. I saw that one. Yeah, go over and just show some love. I'm not gonna play all of them. What I was doing is just trying to show her some love. Y'all make sure you go over and subscribe, like, and share. I'm gonna go to these and share them on Twitter.
Making Indians White, the judicial abolition of Native slavery in revolutionary Virginia and its racial legacy by Gregory Ablowski. As you can see, here are the contents, and I will also provide a link below so that you can read this also on your own, make notes, whatever you need to do. So let's go ahead and get started. And I also will go through the
footnotes too. So, introduction in 7.
Yeah, I'll make sure to go over and watch that as well. This is another this is part 2. Oh.
Okay, so I think we left off around here, so let's continue. Explaining this shift in the racial basis of slavery is more difficult than observing it. The Robin Court and its successors claimed merely to be engaged in statutory interpretation, and Mason argued for Indians' freedom on the basis of libertarian principles of the Revolutionary War. And the footnote for 11 was just, I'll show you out so I can see. It wasn't really anything to look at. Oops. That was it for footnote for 11.
I'm leaving.
This
like I
comment
said.
argues, however, that the ultimate grounds for this doctrinal innovation lay deeper
Y'all go over and
in the
subscribe.
changing
Show us some
demographics
love.
of early.
What I'm going to do now is just look down my subscriptions. I'm about to leave. Matter of fact, I'm just going to stop here. I have to go. Brother M.W. Smith. Let's see what he's talking about.
Hey everyone, just want to start off this video by apologizing. When I read about the Indians of the Golden Hills in Connecticut, I'm going to tell you I misread where they founded their city. Okay, and I can tell you how I made the mistake. When I was reading it, I got to the section where it points out that the Indians sold the Golden Hills, right? And they founded a town called Ethiopia or Liberia, right? And when I clicked on the Ethiopia link there from Wikipedia, it took me to West Africa and it showed you Ethiopia and Liberia. Well, went back and I was reading the article and it says that they founded a place called Bridgeport, Connecticut, that was called, they called it Ethiopia or Liberia. So I just want to apologize for wasting your time. You know, it was one of the fears I had when I was contemplating making videos. When asked, just I don't want to waste your time. I didn't want to mislead you. There's enough of that going on. You don't need another person doing it. So I'm just saying I'm sorry. With that aside, I have found a few other things, and I've had them for 2 weeks, and I've been reading over them. So just to try to make sure I get everything right when it comes to this. Number one, I've been reading about a gene. It's called Gene E, right? The article I'm going to leave, it's about horses, okay? Now this gene is what they believe is causes the horses to have either, and it specifically says black pigmentation or a red pigmentation. Now when you check out the red is obviously the definition of ruddy, because if you and I got some sun and we stood up next to these horses, we would look just like the horses they're calling red, but we would call it brown. See what I'm saying? So I'm gonna leave that there because I thought that was interesting. I was actually reading about haplogroup E and its effect on populations in the Mayan culture, I believe it was. About a book that was explaining haplogroup E, which I always thought was hard to really explain because it seems like they only want to make haplogroup E dedicated to West Africa alone. The book I purchased from a YouTube author, he has explained that haplogroup E can be found in Mexico among the remnant of the Mayan people. So I was excited because, even with the messed up DNA testing that they give you, someone else was smart enough to figure out that it's not all true what Wikipedia, what Ancestry is always saying. So I was happy to find that what I have can be traced right here in the Americas. You know, haplogroup D was the other one, and it also explained how, you know, a lot of scientists don't want to give credit to haplogroup D being anywhere outside of Near Asia, and they don't want to let you know that the so-called Nigerian, right, has haplogroup D and E. You know, the males do. The article read, so I thought that was pretty cool. So I'm gonna leave that in the description box.
All right, y'all. I am out of here. Peace and power to everyone.